Assalamualaikum and hi folks, it's me, Shahidan Amzar. I hope you guys are doing well. So today I am going to review a novel that I just finished reading. It's an absolute masterpiece, a work of art, and it blows my mind. The novel is called Where the Crawdads Sing, written by American author Delia Owens. This book has won the Booksellers Award in Japan and British Book Award. Not to mention, the movie Where the Crawdads Sing was released in July 2022 based on this novel and successfully made over $144 million worldwide. Anyways, let's get back to the topic. It consists of 368 beautiful pages. Each page talks, divulges, delineates, and unfolds the melancholy, grief-stricken, jovial, and passionate story of Catherine Danielle Clark, or often called as Kaya. So, who is this Kaya girl? Let me give you guys some details about her. For years, rumors of the Mush Girl have haunted Buckley Cove, a quiet town on the North Carolina coast. In late 1969, when the popular local quarterback Chase Andrews was found dead, the locals promptly suspected Kaya, the so-called Mush Girl. But Kaya was totally not like what they say. She was completely the opposite. Sensitive and intelligent, she had survived 4 years alone in a marsh that she called home. Made a living by selling mussels to a general store, finding friends in the gulls and lessons in the sand. Then the time came when she had her heart set on to be loved, when two young men, Tate Walker and Chase Andrews from town, became intrigued by her wild beauty. Kaya opened herself to a new life, not expecting the unthinkable occurrences to happen. Okay, enough details about Kaya. Now I am eager to tell you guys about the moral values available in this story. Firstly, the protagonist, Catherine Danielle Clark, is presented well as a diligent person. She didn't even able to read, but not until her marginally older friend Tate Walker returned to Buckley Cove and met Kaya for the first time in years. They developed a friendship. Tate taught Kaya to read and write, making Kaya really pay attention to education. She was really interested in biology that she started writing her own biology book, intending to publish it. Morals here is that to gain something, you need to be hardworking. Work hard, it pays off. Subsequently, I am utterly impressed by the loyal character Tom Milton. He was the first person who stimulated and motivated Kaya to go to school. Fate determined them to meet again when the homicide of Chase Andrews, which was believed to be committed by Kaya, became the most talked about topic among the people of Buckley Cove. Tom played a salient role in order to help Kaya free herself from the first degree murder allegation. He became her defendant. Thanks to Tom's capability as a lawyer, Kaya won the case. This experience offered Kaya a sense of validation and belongings. Kaya probably never stopped being thankful to Tom and always prayed for his generosity every day without him knowing. I think we can all assume that the moral here is a kind-hearted, caring soul brings so much joy and euphoria to everyone. The last one is Kaya's courage of surviving by herself is what tantalizes me. From the time Kaya was abandoned by her mother, she had to learn how to take care of herself early on. The only income the family had was past disability checks from the army. Pa refers to the dad anyway. He took most of the money for himself, but he gave Kaya $1 and some change to buy food in exchange for her taking on the role of woman of the house, like cleaning, doing the laundry, stockpiling woods for the stove, and cooking all the meals. The only saving grace was that Pa had disappeared on foot. Since then, Kaya survived all by herself by digging for mussels in the sands and smashed them into a spread on crackers for each meal. But she had no more supplies. The house was dark. The house was dark at night without kerosene for the lamps. And she only had a few matches left. She had to figure and find a way to get some money. Can you guys see how independent Kaya is? I'm sure many readers of this book want to be just like her. She was the guardian of herself and the guardian of the marsh. Now, let me connect this book to the current world. How this book exposes the bad stereotype against poor people, how this book illuminates us that sense of justice is something that everyone should have. Every single human should have. How this book acquaints us that people come into our life and there's a big chance that they can just simply live. Now, let's go to the first connection of this book to the current world. Poor people, they are always looked upon by society. Kaya is the main example here of a poor person that needs to endure this bad mentality. Since she was a kid, she got bullied for not being as fortunate as other kids. She went to school in less than an hour, barefoot, then ran away due to ignominy and humiliation. What I am trying to imply here is that we are all humans living in the same planet, living in the same society, living in the same neighborhood. Are not supposed to judge others because they are financially different. Not just financially, but also racially and religiously. Judging them is not going to do any changes. Instead, it makes you turn yourself into an ignorant person. Okay, let's move to sense of justice. Kaya was accused of murdering Chase Andrews. One witness that she shouted the sentence, "Bother me again and I will kill you," real loud. What actually happened was that Chase was attempting to assault Kaya and she fought back by throwing fists. Kaya's action was undeniably coherent. I mean, someone is being violent on you and people cannot expect you to stay silent and doesn't do anything. Believe it or not, this kind of situation always happens. The predator attacks you and you fight back, then the whole world turns a blind eye to the fact that your action is actually a form of self-defense. And why? It is because people judge you based on your appearance and the rich will get away with everything. What I'm indicating here is justice applies to everyone. The court existed in the first place to bring justice regardless of one's wealth. You cannot and you must not give validation to a crime which is committed by a wealthy person. A crime is a crime. The term self-defense means defending the health and well-being of oneself from harm, which should be acceptable under any violent circumstances. I think I went too far on sense of justice. Now let's discuss about the presence and absence of people in our lives. So as you guys know, Kaya and Tate were lovebirds, but not for too long since Tate was off to college. Before he went to college, he kept a promise to her that he will return on the 4th of July. Kaya waited for the date impatiently. She was full of longing towards the young man. The date finally came and she waited for Tate by the cove. Dawn till dusk, there was still no sign of Tate. The dark sky of 4th of July was dominated by fireworks. She enjoyed the beautiful, colorful sky alone by herself and eventually fell asleep. The next day she woke up and she cried, knowing the person she loved the most had left her. What can we all agree here is that most people, they don't stay, they live. They choose to. Who are we to determine their choices? The sudden absence of Tate Walker in Kaya's life is quite often evidence of the quote, "People may come and live." Well, we need to take a look on the positive part. People who live shows you that you should rely on yourself in the end. People come and go, but you are the core. You are the one who makes decisions. You are the one who makes plans and who runs your own life. They open your eyes and make you think about about the purpose of your life. Just so you're aware, this is all for everyone who lives you, not just a romantic partner like the situation of Kaya and Tate. I hope your life is not really affected by someone's absence. Now let's take a full stop on present and absence of one. Finally, I'm done with the connections of the story to the current world. Now, let's conclude everything on this novel. I love this novel. I love where the credits sing. The storyline is just perfect and majestic. Each character did their part well and expertly. Kaya as the good, engaging young lady, Tate Walker as an educated but unfaithful man, Chase Andrews as the biggest manipulative privileged man in the story, and the owners of Buckley Cove's general store, Mr. and Mrs. Jumpins, who also happen to be Kaya's good friends. The marsh is what aroused my interest to read this book, as I liked watery areas so much since I was a kid. Reading this book opens my mind about certain things. For instance, not everyone is credible, and we need to have knowledge in order to survive this cruel world. Through Kaya's story, we are reminded of the importance of perseverance and the beauty of nature. I truly felt every emotion while reading this masterpiece. Even the cover is as beautiful as the story is. This is my favorite book of the year. It is able to draw my full attention. No other book has ever done this to me. I love this book. I give this book a 10 out of 10 and also a 10 out of 10 for Delia Owens. Thank you for writing this piece of art. Your work is exquisite and magnificent. Catherine Danielle Clark is now my favorite protagonist. I think I have nothing else to say. I guess this is the end, people. Oh, also, I really recommend you guys to read this book. It is also available online. You guys can search on some site on Google. Where the credit sings, you are genuinely splendid.